Captain Lisa Morgan sat in her command chair on the bridge of the Earth Fleet ship Intrepid *. The ship was on a routine mission to explore the edge of known space. Lisa was a tall woman with short brown hair and serious eyes. She had been captain for 5 years now. "Captain, I'm picking up some strange signals," said Jack, the communications officer. His fingers moved quickly over his screen. "They're not like anything we've seen before." Lisa leaned forward. "Show me." The main screen lit up with a cluster of ships, not just a few ships. Hundreds of them. They were huge, shiny, and covered with what looked like gold decorations. "Those can't be real warships," said Sam from his security station. "They look like parade floats." Lisa kept her face calm. "Open a channel. Let's say hello to our new neighbors." The screen changed to show an alien. It had blue skin and 3 eyes. But what caught everyone's attention was its outfit. The alien wore a uniform with shoulder pads so big it seemed impossible it could fit through a door. Golden medals covered its chest, and a hat that looked like a mix between a crown and a chandelier sat on its head. The bridge crew struggled to keep straight faces. "I am Supreme Commander Zixforth of the Galactic Hegemony," the alien said in a voice that echoed as if it was speaking in a huge empty room. "You have entered sacred hegemony space. Identify yourselves immediately." Lisa cleared her throat. "I am Captain Lisa Morgan of the Earth Fleet vessel Intrepid *. We are on a peaceful exploration mission." The alien's 3 eyes blinked at different times. "Earth. This designation is unknown to the hegemony records. How did you achieve faster-than-light travel without our approval?" Olivia, the ship's engineer, whispered, "They need approval to discover physics." Lisa shot her a warning look. "We developed faster-than-light travel about 50 years ago. It's standard technology for us now." The alien's face turned a darker blue. "Impossible. FTL travel requires the sacred crystals of Sorgulon. No species can develop it independently." Lisa looked confused. "Sacred crystals? We don't use any special crystals. Our drives work on the Parker-Chen warp field principle." The bridge of the alien ship erupted in chaos. Other aliens in equally ridiculous uniforms ran around waving their arms. One seemed to faint dramatically. "This cannot be. The holy texts clearly state that FTL travel without the blessing of the crystal is impossible." Zixforth's voice had gone up several octaves. Sam turned away from the screen, his shoulders shaking with silent laughter. Diane, the science officer, bit her lip so hard it nearly bled. Lisa somehow kept her face serious. "I assure you, Commander, we have no crystals. Perhaps your holy texts need an update." This comment caused more chaos on the alien bridge. Finally, Zixforth regained control. "You will accompany us to the Galactic Council. The wise elders must examine this blasphemy." When the communication ended, the Intrepid's bridge erupted in laughter. "Did you see those hats?" Olivia gasped between laughs. "How do they even stand up straight?" "And their ship design," Sam added, wiping tears from his eyes. "All those golden decorations would make perfect targets in a real fight." Lisa let her crew laugh for a minute before raising her hand for quiet. "Okay, everyone. We need to take this seriously. These aliens might look funny to us, but they have hundreds of ships. Let's not judge a book by its ridiculous cover." "What do we do, Captain?" asked Jack, still grinning. Lisa smiled. "We follow them to their council. This is first contact with a galactic civilization, even if they do look like a space opera costume party. Let's see what we can learn from each other." The Intrepid moved into formation with the alien fleet, its simple, practical design a stark contrast to the golden, decorated ships of the hegemony. As they prepared for the journey, Lisa had one thought. If the rest of the galaxy was like this, humanity was in for quite a show. The journey to Nexus Prime, the capital planet of the hegemony, took 3 days. During this time, Jack Peterson worked with the alien communication systems to better understand their language. "Captain, you won't believe this. Jack said on the morning of the third day. Their official language has 347 different ways to address someone based on their rank. Lisa raised her eyebrows. That seems excessive. It gets better. Jack laughed. Our translation software keeps defaulting to calling Commander 6/4 most luminous star presence of infinite wisdom, because we don't have an exact match for his rank. The bridge crew chuckled. Sam leaned over to look at Jack's screen. Can we just call him Sir instead? Apparently that would be a terrible insult, Jack replied. It's reserved for the lowest ranks. Olivia shook her head. How does anyone get anything done with all these rules? They soon found out. As the Intrepid approached Nexus Prime, a beautiful blue-green planet with 3 moons, the communications system lit up with incoming messages. Captain, we're receiving landing instructions, Jack said, looking confused. But they want us to talk to 17 different departments first. 17? Lisa asked. What for? Jack scrolled through the messages. We need approval from the Bureau of Foreign Vessels, the Department of Unregistered Species, the Office of Potentially Hazardous Technologies, the Committee for First Contact Procedures. He trailed off, shaking his head. Lisa sighed. Put the first one through. The screen showed an alien with red skin wearing a slightly less ridiculous uniform than 6/4. I am Minor Subdirector Krell of the Bureau of Foreign Vessels. Your ship designation is not in our records. This is highly irregular. We're from Earth, Lisa explained patiently. We haven't been to your space before. Unacceptable, the alien declared. All vessels must be pre-registered before arrival. How could we pre-register if we didn't know you existed until 3 days ago? Sam muttered. Lisa shot him a warning glance. Perhaps you could help us register now. It took 2 hours to satisfy the first official. The second was even worse. Your species is not in the Galactic Registry, exclaimed the Department of Unregistered Species representative. This form requires your species registration number. We don't have one, Lisa said, feeling her patience wearing thin. We just met you. Then you must file for a temporary existence permit. The alien pushed a document across the screen that was at least 100 pages long. By the time they reached the 4th official, even Lisa was struggling not to laugh. The Grand Overseer of Acceptable Ship Dimensions insisted their ship was exactly 0.3 units too wide for the landing bay category they'd been assigned. But we measured your landing bay, Olivia said. The Intrepid fits with room to spare. The measurements are not the issue, the Grand Overseer said sternly. The category is the issue. Eventually, after almost 14 hours of bureaucratic nightmare, they received permission to land. The crew was exhausted but amused. I never thought I'd say this, Sam said as they prepared for landing. But Earth paperwork seems efficient by comparison. As the Intrepid settled into the enormous docking bay on Nexus Prime, they saw thousands of alien ships arranged in perfect rows by size, color, and what appeared to be alphabetical order. A welcoming committee waited for them. 20 aliens stood in a perfect line, each wearing a different colored uniform, with increasingly elaborate decorations the further down the line they went. Remember, Lisa told her senior staff as they prepared to disembark, no laughing, no matter how ridiculous they look. This is still an important diplomatic mission. Diane nodded seriously, then whispered, But did you see the hat on the one at the end? It's taller than he is. Lisa bit the inside of her cheek. Focus, everyone. Let's show them humans can be professional. They straightened their simple blue uniforms and stepped out to meet the Galactic hegemony officials, all struggling to keep their faces serious as they prepared for what would surely be the most entertaining diplomatic mission in human history. After 3 days of meetings on Nexus Prime, the Galactic hegemony decided they needed to test human military capabilities. Grand Admiral Krell, a tall alien with purple skin and a uniform so heavy with medals it made a clinking sound when he walked, called Captain Lisa to the military assessment chamber. The hegemony must understand your combat potential, Krell announced, his voice echoing in the large room. You will participate in war games against one of our ships. Lisa nodded respectfully. We would be honored. Krell pointed to a large screen showing an alien vessel. This is the Eternal Glory *. It is an obsolete model, but still far superior to what primitives like you might have. Sam, standing behind Lisa, coughed to hide his laugh. The Eternal Glory * was huge, covered in gold decorations, and had what looked like statues on its hull. Do those statues serve a purpose? Lisa asked politely. They represent the 77 virtues of the ancient warrior code, Krell said proudly. They inspire fear in our enemies and provide excellent target points, Sam whispered, earning an elbow from Olivia. Lisa turned to Paul Wright, her tactical officer. Paul had been a video game designer before joining the fleet, and he loved a good challenge. Paul, you'll handle our side of the war games, Lisa said. Paul's eyes lit up. Yes, Captain. This should be interesting. The next day, the Intrepid * met the Eternal Glory * in a designated area of space for the war games. The rules were simple. Each ship would use simulation systems to fire at each other. The computers would calculate damage without actually harming either vessel. Admiral Krell's voice came over the communication system. We will begin with standard approach maneuvers. The combat doctrine has remained unchanged for 10,000 years, perfected by our ancestors. Paul looked at Lisa with raised eyebrows. They haven't updated their tactics in 10,000 years. Remember, they think they're the most advanced civilization in the galaxy, Lisa replied. Just do your best. The war games began. The Eternal Glory * moved forward in a straight line, all weapons aimed directly ahead. They're not even trying to hide their approach, Paul said, confused. Are they testing us, or is this how they really fight? Let's find out, Lisa replied. Evasive maneuvers, pattern Delta. The Intrepid * smoothly moved sideways and then behind the alien vessel. If this had been real combat, they would have had a clear shot at the larger ship's engines. Simulation hit registered, Paul reported. We could have taken out their main engines. The alien ship slowly turned around, taking nearly a minute to reposition. Why are they moving so slowly? Diane asked. I think that's their actual combat speed, Paul said, struggling not to laugh. For the next hour, the Intrepid * ran circles around the Eternal Glory *. The human ship darted in, registered simulation hits, and moved away before the alien vessel could respond. Paul used basic evasive patterns that any human ship would know. The communication screen suddenly lit up, showing Admiral Krell's face. He looked very upset. You are violating the ancient combat protocols, he shouted. Ships must approach each other head-on in a dignified manner. Your movements are chaotic and dishonorable. Lisa bit her lip before responding. Admiral, in human combat doctrine, we use unpredictable movements to gain tactical advantage. This is not how civilized species conduct warfare. Krell protested. You must stop moving in unpredictable patterns immediately. Lisa had to turn away from the screen for a moment to compose herself. When she turned back, her face was serious again. Admiral, perhaps we should discuss different combat traditions. Each species develops tactics that work for their situation. Krell seemed to consider this. The Council must be informed of these unusual methods. We will continue this evaluation later. When the communication ended, the bridge crew finally let out their laughter. Did he really expect us to just fly straight at them? Paul asked, wiping tears from his eyes. Lisa smiled. I think the hegemony has a lot to learn about humans, and we definitely have more surprises for them. After the surprising war games, the hegemony decided they needed to understand humans better. They set up a cultural exchange program. Diane Collins, the science officer of the Intrepid *, was paired with Silo, a hegemony xenoanthropologist. Silo was shorter than most of the other aliens they had met. His skin was light green, and he wore fewer decorations than the others, which Diane found refreshing. "I am honored to learn about human culture," Silo said as they met in a large room filled with screens and strange devices. "The council has tasked me with understanding your species." Diane smiled. "I'm happy to help. Where should we start? Perhaps you could show me some of your cultural materials," Shiloh suggested. Diane nodded and connected her tablet to one of the screens. "Let's start with some music." She played a popular rock song. The beat was strong, and the singer's voice was powerful. Shiloh's eyes widened, and he took a step back. "Is this a religious ritual?" he asked, looking concerned. Diane laughed. "No, it's just music. People listen to it for enjoyment." Silo looked confused. "Enjoyment? You mean it has no instructional purpose?" "Well, no. We create art because it makes us feel good or helps us express emotions." "How strange," Silo said, making notes on his device. "In the hegemony, all creative works must serve a purpose. Music is for military marches or to glorify the council." Next, Diane showed him a movie, a comedy about a family vacation that goes wrong. She found herself laughing at the funny scenes, but Silo just stared at the screen with a puzzled expression. "Why do you make that sound?" he asked. "You mean laughing?" Diane was surprised. "Don't your people laugh? We have a ceremonial sound of appreciation for great achievements," Shiloh said. "But this reaction to failures and problems, I don't understand." "We laugh at things that are unexpected, or when something breaks normal patterns," Diane tried to explain. "It's how we deal with life's surprises." Silo made more notes. Fascinating and disturbing. Meanwhile, Olivia Grant was being given a tour of hegemony technology by an alien engineer named Grex. They walked through the engine room of a hegemony ship, which was enormous and filled with complicated machinery. "This is our primary power distribution system," Grex said proudly, pointing to a massive wall of blinking devices. "It has 27 backup systems and 14 emergency protocols." Olivia studied the setup with professional interest. "It's very thorough, but isn't it inefficient to have so many redundancies?" Grex looked offended. "Inefficient? This design was perfected 5,000 years ago by the supreme engineer Zolan. It cannot be improved." Olivia couldn't help herself. "Actually, if you rerouted these power lines and simplified this junction here, you could increase efficiency by at least 40%. Grex's face turned a dark orange. "Such suggestions are technological blasphemy. This design is sacred." Later that day, the human crew met to share their experiences. "They think music can only be for ceremonies," Diane said, shaking her head. "And they haven't updated their engine designs in 5,000 years, Olivia added. Grex reported me for technological blasphemy when I suggested improvements. Lisa listened to her crew with growing concern. "It seems the hegemony resists change in every area: military, technology, culture. They see tradition as more important than progress." "Do you think they'll ever understand us?" Sam asked. "I don't know," Lisa replied. "But tomorrow we meet the Galactic Council, and I have a feeling that's going to be the most interesting meeting yet." They all nodded, knowing that the gap between human adaptability and hegemony rigidity was about to create even more surprising situations. The day of the Galactic Council meeting arrived. Captain Lisa Morgan and her senior crew members were escorted to an enormous building in the center of the capital city. The structure was shaped like a giant dome, with spires reaching toward the sky. "This building is 50,000 years old," their guide explained proudly. "Nothing has been changed or updated since it was built." Sam whispered to Lisa, "Bet they still have the original plumbing too." The council chamber was a huge amphitheater that could seat thousands. Representatives from hundreds of alien species filled the seats, each wearing elaborate outfits that seemed designed to be as impractical as possible. One species wore headgears so tall they had to bend sideways to fit through the doors. "There are 12,000 council members," their guide informed them. All must be present for important decisions. The humans were led to a small platform in the center of the room. Everyone was staring at them. "Why do they all look so shocked?" Paul asked quietly. "Probably our uniforms," Olivia replied. "We're the only ones wearing practical clothes." A loud horn sounded, and the room fell silent. An ancient-looking alien with gray skin and a robe covered in glowing symbols slowly walked to the main platform. "That is High Elder Vorrox," the guide whispered. "He will lead the proceedings." The High Elder raised his arms. "We begin with the traditional recitation of the hegemony's glorious history and the reading of all council members' titles." Lisa smiled politely, but her smile faded as the recitation continued for hour after hour. The humans took turns staying awake, with one always nudging the others when important information was shared. After 14 hours, the High Elder finally said, "And now we may address the human situation." Lisa, fighting exhaustion, stepped forward. "Thank you, High Elder. We appreciate the hegemony's hospitality. Earth wishes to establish friendly relations with the galactic community." Murmurs filled the chamber. The High Elder looked troubled. "Our reports indicate disturbing information about your species," he said. "You have multiple nations with different governments instead of one planetary authority. Is this true?" Lisa nodded. "Yes. Earth has nearly 200 nations, each with its own government." The chamber erupted in shocked voices. One council member fainted dramatically. "Silence," the High Elder called. "How can you function with such chaos? All civilized worlds have one ruler." "We find that diversity makes us stronger," Lisa explained. "Different perspectives help us solve problems in new ways." More shocked murmurs filled the room. Then Ben Miller, the medical officer, raised his hand. "Excuse me, but could I use the bathroom?" The entire chamber went deadly silent. The High Elder's face turned almost white. "You wish to leave during an elder's address?" he asked in a horrified voice. Ben looked confused. Yes. I'll be right back." The chamber exploded into chaos. Council members were shouting and pointing. Some seemed to be calling for immediate punishment. Diane leaned toward Lisa. "I think he just violated some kind of sacred protocol." Lisa sighed. This was getting ridiculous. But then she remembered something from her cultural briefing. She raised her hand in a specific gesture that Diane had found in an ancient hegemony text. "Most esteemed council, I invoke the ritual of humble apology for our ignorance of your sacred ways," she said loudly. The room gradually quieted. The High Elder looked surprised but nodded. "The ritual of humble apology has not been invoked in 3,000 years, but it is accepted. The offense is forgiven." Ben was allowed to leave, and when he returned, the meeting continued. The council debated among themselves about what to do with humans. Finally, the High Elder addressed them again. "The humans' development has been most irregular. For their own protection, they must be placed under hegemony supervision until they learn proper galactic ways." Lisa realized what this meant. The hegemony intended to take control of Earth. She needed to find a way to protect her planet without starting a war with a galactic empire. Lisa and her crew returned to the Intrepid in low spirits. The Galactic Council had assigned a fleet to escort them back to Earth. This escort was really an invasion force that would establish permanent hegemony control over the solar system. "We need a plan," Lisa said as she gathered her senior staff in the ship's meeting room. "We can't let them take over Earth, but we also can't fight an entire galactic empire. Their ships are bigger, but their tactics are terrible," Sam pointed out. "And their technology is outdated," Olivia added. "But they still outnumber us by thousands." Diane, who had been studying hegemony culture and laws, suddenly looked up from her tablet. "I think I found something. The hegemony has an ancient law called the right of challenged species." "What's that?" Lisa asked. "If a species believes they're being treated unfairly, they can challenge the Council's decision by demonstrating their worth through a contest of their choosing." Diane's eyes were bright with excitement. It hasn't been used in 5,000 years, but it's still valid under their laws. Lisa smiled slowly. And they always follow their ancient laws, don't they? To the letter, Diane confirmed. So we challenge them, and we get to pick the contest, Paul asked. Exactly, Diane nodded. Lisa stood up. Let's call it Operation Punchline. We'll use their rigid rules against them. The next day, Lisa formally requested a meeting with the High Elder. She stood before him in the small reception chamber, her face serious. High Elder, I invoke the right of challenged species according to the ancient law. Section 37, paragraph 12. The Elder's eyes widened. That law has not been invoked in millennia. How do you even know of it? We study the laws of those we meet, Lisa said simply. It is our right to challenge your decision through a contest of our choosing. The Elder couldn't deny it. What contest do you propose? Lisa smiled. Adaptive problem solving under changing parameters. What does this mean? The Elder looked confused. A series of challenges that require flexible thinking and quick adaptation. Lisa explained. First, navigating a shifting maze. Second, repairing a system with limited tools. Third, finding solutions to unexpected problems. The Elder consulted with other council members. They couldn't refuse without breaking their own sacred laws. Very well, he finally said. The contest will take place tomorrow. Each side will choose 3 representatives. When the Elder left, Sam turned to Lisa. That was brilliant. They can't refuse a challenge under their own laws. And we pick challenges that humans are great at, but the hegemony will struggle with, Lisa added. Their whole society is based on following fixed rules and traditions. The day of the contest arrived. Lisa chose Sam, Olivia, and Paul as the human team. The hegemony selected 3 of their top officers. The first challenge was the maze. The walls could move and change direction. The humans quickly adapted, changing their route whenever needed. The hegemony team kept trying to follow their original path, becoming confused when walls moved. Why don't they just adjust their course? One audience member asked. Because they haven't been ordered to, another replied. The human team finished the maze in 10 minutes. The hegemony team took nearly an hour. Next was the repair challenge. Each team received a broken engine and a box of random tools. Olivia assessed the situation quickly. We don't have the right tools, but we can modify these to work. She bent a piece of metal to make a wrench and used a cloth as a filter. Her team completed repairs in 20 minutes. The hegemony team stood staring at their box. These are not the standard repair tools, one said. We cannot proceed without proper equipment. You must complete the task with what you have, the judge explained. Impossible. The sacred manual does not cover this situation. They failed to complete the challenge. In the final test, each team faced a series of unexpected problems. The humans worked together, trying different approaches until they found solutions. The hegemony team struggled with each problem, constantly looking to their leaders for instruction. When the contest ended, the result was clear. The humans had won easily. The Galactic Council chamber was completely silent after the contest results were announced. The High Elder looked stunned. The other council members whispered among themselves. Finally, the High Elder spoke. According to our ancient laws, we must recognize the humans as equals. Their victory in the challenge proves their worth. News of the human victory spread quickly through the hegemony. Many younger aliens were secretly impressed by how the humans solved problems in new ways. The humans will be allowed to return to their planet without supervision, the High Elder declared. And we will establish formal diplomatic relations with Earth. Lisa held back her smile. Thank you, High Elder. Earth looks forward to peaceful relations with the hegemony. As Lisa and her crew prepared to leave Nexus Prime, they were surprised by a message from the supreme ruler of the hegemony. This mysterious figure rarely appeared in public. The supreme ruler requests a private meeting with Captain Morgan, the messenger said. No one has received such an honor in over 500 years. Lisa was escorted to a beautiful garden at the top of the tallest building in the city. There, sitting on a simple bench, was an ancient alien with pale blue skin and eyes that looked older than time itself. Captain Morgan, the Supreme Ruler said in a surprisingly normal voice. "Please, sit with me." Lisa sat down, feeling strangely calm in the presence of the ruler of thousands of worlds. "You may wonder why I asked to see you," the Supreme Ruler said. "I am curious," Lisa admitted. The ancient being smiled. "What you may not realize is that our empire has been stuck for millennia. We haven't had a new idea in 10,000 years. Everything is tradition, ritual, and rules." Lisa was surprised by this honesty. "Your people," the Supreme Ruler continued, "bring something we desperately need: change, fresh perspectives, the ability to laugh at ourselves. You wanted us to challenge the council." Lisa asked, "Let's say I wasn't disappointed when you did." The Supreme Ruler's eyes twinkled. "Sometimes an empire needs a good shake-up." On the last day, many young hegemony citizens came to see the intrepid before it departed. They had formed human culture appreciation societies and were eager to learn more about Earth. "They're especially interested in our music and movies," Diane told Lisa. "I think we've started something here." Silo, the xenoanthropologist, approached Diane. "I have been studying human humor. I wish to attempt a joke." "Go ahead," Diane encouraged. "Why did the hegemony officer need 17 assistants to change a light source?" Silo asked. "I don't know. Why?" "1 to change it, and 16 to fill out the proper forms." Silo watched her face anxiously. Diane laughed, genuinely amused. "That's actually funny." Silo looked pleased. "I am learning. Perhaps one day I will visit Earth to study humor more deeply." As the intrepid prepared to leave orbit, Lisa gathered her crew on the bridge. "We came here expecting to find advanced aliens who would look down on us," she said. "Instead, we found an empire that needed our help to remember how to change and grow." "Do you think they'll really change?" Sam asked. "Some will, some won't," Lisa replied. "But we've made an impact, and Earth now has a place in the galactic community." The intrepid moved away from Nexus Prime, heading home with stories that would amaze everyone on Earth. As they reached the edge of hegemony space, Jack received one last message from the Supreme Ruler. "Remember, Captain Morgan, sometimes the greatest wisdom is knowing when to laugh at yourself. We had forgotten that lesson. Thank you for reminding us." Lisa smiled as stars streaked past the view screen. Humanity's first contact with alien life hadn't gone at all how they expected. But perhaps that was the best part of exploration. You never knew what you would find, or what you might teach others about themselves along the way.